I am recording this video message for Veterans Day, November 11th, a day we set aside to honor America's veterans. We owe our veterans a great deal. Veterans have given life and limb to protect our liberty with war since the inception of the United States in the Revolutionary War. The first veteran I knew was my own father, Harry Specter, an immigrant from Russia who served in World War I in the Argonne Force, was wounded in action. The United States government promised World War I veterans a bonus of $500. Government broke the promise, as regrettably the government does on so many occasions, breaking promises to veterans and others. So in 1932, the veterans had a march on Washington to protest. And President Hoover called out the Army on that day, and veterans were shot and killed, one of the blackest days in American history. And in a sense, I've been motivated to public service, in a sense, on my way to Washington ever since to get my father's bonus. And it's something I'm still working on. And Veterans Day will mark a hearing in the Constitution Center where we will bring in veterans to explore their current problems, major problems on unemployment, major problems on homelessness. And I'm glad to see that President Obama and Secretary of Veterans Affairs Shinseki have outlined a vigorous 5-year program to cure the problem of homelessness among our veterans. I invited General Shinseki to come to Philadelphia and to Pittsburgh to meet with veterans groups a couple of months ago, and he did that, and it is an item very, very high on my own agenda. I chaired the Veterans Affairs Committee in the United States Senate for 6 years, and seeing to it that veterans get justice is a very high priority. I think of my father's service in World War I, of the service of my brother and brother-in-law in World War II, and my service as a veteran stateside in the United States Air Force during the Korean War. But with the incident at Fort Hood, the random killing, the terrible tragedy there, shows how our military personnel are exposed to really extraordinary risks every day. And we ought to pause on Veterans Day especially, but we ought to honor our veterans every day of the year. Thank you.